Hi, my name is Raph. I am playing Grinner, a barbarian human running from his past as an ex-soldier, now turned mercenary.
Hey everyone, I'm Jared. I'm playing the character of Luther. He's a Dhampire. He is a fighter that specializes in firearms, a bit of an investigator, and I am the great uncle of Grinner.
Hi, I'm Jacob. I'm playing Tithla, the Goblin Ranger. She is a wonderful hunter and medical genius.
Hi, I'm Haz. I'm playing Theodore, the Satyr Druid, who's a kind of a charismatic druid who's unwillingly taken Tithla under his wing as she's followed him through the forest for the past few months.
G'day, I'm Tom. I'm playing Jonor, the Aasimar Wizard. He is on the pursuit of good and evil, finding out the best and worst in this world, and he's doing that with a little bit of naivety and optimism.
And I'm Owen, the Dungeon Master of our Curse of Strahd campaign. Hello! It was a really quick countdown and then it paused at the end. Hello everybody! Hello and welcome back to the Lost Archives. My name's Owen and we are playing Curse of Strahd. Thank you so much for joining us. It's lovely to see all your beautiful faces here, coming and joining us live. We've got the whole cast here with us. Everyone's here, excited to see how it goes down tonight. Now obviously we finished last session on a little bit of a cliffhanger. We will be addressing that, but first, thank you everybody who's been coming and checking out the Tyranny of Dragons stream, and thank you again to Raph who played the guest character Shivers for the last couple of sessions.
Very welcome.
Thank you very much. We're very rapidly approaching the very end of that campaign now, which means that depending on how that campaign finishes, we will be playing either Storm King's Thunder next, Elemental Evil, or I think there's now a possibility for what's the one in Chult? It's Tomb of Annihilation. I got there eventually. Yeah, Tomb of Annihilation is also a possibility as well, depending on the choices they make at the end of the campaign and what that does to the world and how that affects the world. So yeah, very excited to see which campaign comes next.
Welcoming Tomb, then.
Exactly, Tomb. The Tomb of Annihilation. It's a pretty brutal name for a location, just saying. I don't know. It's just the Annihilation.
Who would ever visit?
I know, Annihilation is just so like that's
terrible for tourism.
Complete destruction. It's like atomic destruction. It's the most destructive force you can have. I don't know, it just resonated with me.
Is this the kind of thing that keeps you up at night?
Sometimes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, sometimes, if that's all right.
You do you, buddy.
I do. It's very true. I do. So yeah, no, thank you everybody who's been coming checking that out, and yeah, get excited for campaign 2 that will be taking place on the Wednesday nights as part of the main series. But tonight we're playing Curse of Strahd. Now I think we had a D&D story potentially tonight. Haz, did you say you potentially had a D&D story to share?
Oh, it follows on nicely from Tithla's little move at the end of last session.
Fantastic.
with the old piss off. An NPC who you really shouldn't be pissing off maneuver. I play a fortnightly Pathfinder 2nd edition game with someone who may or may not be watching the stream at the minute. But
hang on a minute. Hang on. Is this the person who is the subject of this story?
Oh yeah, big time.
Is this a name and shame?
I don't know. Do I want to name and shame Rory? I don't know if I want to or not.
Okay, perfect. Please, name and shame.
Of course it's Rory.
The context was the group they'd been contacted to transport a cart from one town to a big city, and they were told that they couldn't look into the cart because the contents were moisture and air sensitive.
Okay, seems pretty straightforward.
Nothing sus there. Definitely hadn't heard or partaken in any like rampant drugs that were spreading across the country. But they get to the main city, and there's naturally a guard checkpoint, and the guard looks through their belongings because for some reason they just accepted all of this blindly. Where they're promptly taken to the captain of the guard, who informs them that they're to be executed unless they help him solve the broader crime of who was their actual buyer and where the drugs were going.
So the captain of the guard gets the hint. He's aware that, like, you guys are just dumb mules. Maybe I can use you to get what I want.
Yeah.
Here's some rope that you can use to climb out of the pit you're in rather than hang yourself.
So he sets up this nice deal for them to take and run away with their skins. So what does our intrepid player do?
He makes a noose and hangs himself on the rope, right?
Starts asking him to pay him for this lovely opportunity.
Okay, that's
and not
good.
a small amount either. He wanted more than he got for the delivery job.
Okay.
To go find
he's
this for
leveraging
him.
higher, so...
And that worked, yeah?
No, the captain magnanimously refused the first time. So he asked again.
Oh,
and
okay.
again.
Okay.
Then he got back up from another party member who was looking like he was going to fight them, and I had to give them the old DMs. But make a perception roll. This guy looks like he's well beyond what a party of level 3 adventurers could deal with, and you're in his guard station with like 20 other guards around to get them to simmer down and chokehold this guy out of the room.
This isn't one of those times when you can Leroy Jenkins out of it, right? Like...
No. Here's one comment off me go, all right, that's it. This is the guard equivalent of rocks fall, everyone dies.
Oh, that's so funny.
Sounds like an inspirational story to me.
Yeah. Let
that be a lesson to
ask
you.
for money first.
Yeah, exactly right. And you should always ask for exuberant amounts as well. When you've been graciously handed your life, that's the time to really double down and ask for
a bargain.
That's it. Yeah. Domamu, I've come to bargain. That's it exactly. Alrighty, so the Tempest Adventuring Guild, a name now legendary across the world of Nostea, has just recruited some new members for a specialized team. Jonor the Wizard, Tithla the Ranger, Luther the Fighter, Grinner the Barbarian, and Theodore the Druid have all signed on with the guild to investigate a puzzling mystery. The long-ruined town of Dowbridge is now the site of several disappearances, including 2 full adventuring parties. After arriving in the ruined town, the group tracked the missing adventurers into a mysterious manor, which appeared out of the mists like magic. Once inside, however, our heroes have found themselves trapped. Exploring the lower floors, the group discovered several signs of the adventuring party's presence in the manor, including a travelling cloak and a place setting. Despite the appearance of a warm, friendly environment inside the manor house, the party soon found themselves unnerved and a bit anxious about their surroundings. Paintings all over the manor would change when not looked at, the stuffed wolves and suits of armour similarly seeming to move when not observed directly. Arriving upstairs on the 2nd floor, the team explored the ballroom and the library, discovering ghostly figures and a letter warning the Durst family against using the giant relics they had recently purchased. Upon reaching the upper floor, the team were attacked by a suit of animated armor and came very close to suffering some serious injuries. Victorious, but now wary, the group was suspicious when a female voice called out to them from a nearby room. Investigating the source of this voice revealed the ghostly apparition of Margaret, the nursemaid to the Durst children. Initially calm, she seemed happy to chat and warned the group not to wake the baby. This prompted Tithla to ask if the baby was dead like her, causing Margaret to scream in rage and attack Tithla. We finished last session as Margaret's form changed with this scream, the scream echoing through the rooms of the house, causing all of you to cover your ears in pain as this flash of very loud, high-pitched wail passes through you, reverberating through your lungs and your body. Her hair grows longer and starts moving out behind her, taking on this almost like water-like appearance as if underwater. You see her eyes turning into this pale white, her dress ripping, her face contorting and sections melting off, revealing skeletal and muscular structures underneath, before she moves through the wall. Tithla, having not seen any of this, gets a bit of a spookin' when, emerging from the other side, these hands wrap around her throat, the face pulling close and breathing this and literally sucking the life out of Tithla, dropping you down to very low hit points. We jump straight back in as this happens, as Margaret grabs you and starts breathing in this life essence from you. You watch as this scream, still echoing round, suddenly stops. Tithla, she's holding you up in the air, having picked you up to literally like pull your soul from your body. You see your skin wrinkling, turning a bit grey coloured as the life is drained from you. And then suddenly she stops, frozen. Her eyes seem to cloud over for a moment. Rose? My child, what she drops you bodily to the floor. Clutching at her hair, she begins tearing into her flesh and her hair, screaming in agony as she looks down at the body of, to her, a child, grey and drained of life. I'm going to throw you all into initiative, not necessarily because this is combat, but more because I need to know what you're going to be doing, and it's good to have a time-sensitive order in place for this particular section. So what I'll get you to do is click on your tokens and then click on roll for initiative, please.
Need to refresh it.
Yeah, I've noticed that I need to refresh
it
each
always
time
happens.
as well. Yeah, it's a bit frustrating. It's just the joys of Roll20, right?
Where is the roll for initiative button?
It'll be up near the top in the very center of your screen area of your character sheet. Or maybe it's
Well, I
over
got a
towards the left.
15.
All right, do it on D&D Beyond. Yep, got it.
Yes, indeed, indeed.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'll change the music over to something a bit more intense, shall we?
Tithla, I feel like that's an appropriate role for you there.
Natural
Yeah, look,
one.
I feel like in that one checks out.
You still need me.
I'm surprised. A bit scared. Not sure what to do. We'll see what you all do.
Nat
little bit of
one
poop
makes a
comes
lot of
out.
sense, actually.
Oh, not a little bit.
I got a 15 in the game log, so I'm just gonna keep that.
Okay, cool. Just put on some slightly more music. Beautiful. Just bring across and pull open the stats on our lovely friend.
Fucking Marge.
March. Not a fan of March?
Correct me
Alright.
if I'm wrong, she was also Master Durst's slam piece come the end, wasn't she?
You get the sense that... Well, no, I would say you blatantly know that she is the mother of his illegitimate baby.
Third child, yeah.
Yeah, Michael.
Mickey, the one who didn't get the floral-themed name.
Yes, the one who didn't get the floral theme name. Alrighty, so let's just reorder those so they are in order. Is everyone's initiative correct? Grinner first at 21? Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect. Alright. Grinner, you watch as the spectre drops Tithla and then moves back, looking down. This sort of like ghostly form starting to change back out of this horrific, monstrous appearance, changing back into what looks to be more of a young woman dressed in servant's clothes, hovering now over the edge of the stairs down. She's hovering a floor up in line with the balcony. But she looks down in horror and begins crying as she looks at Tithla. Are you okay? Oh, what have I done? And then tearing at her hair again, looking very distressed.
So the threatening aspect's definitely disappearing.
Yeah, you can see the hair's fallen back down and is rebraiding itself behind her. She's looking, really concerned and horrified is the word I would use. Just, she looks horrified. Tithla looks desiccated.
I'm going to grab Tithla by the back of the cloak and drag her behind me and step in front, like to swap places with her, basically.
Yep, absolutely. That's easily done.
And I'm just going to... I've still got that animated armor's helmet on my fist, don't I?
Yes, you do. That's
kind of like
correct.
crumpled down around my hand a little bit, hey?
Yeah, that's right.
Cool. So I'm just going to hold my action for if Margaret makes any threatening move, I'm going to launch myself at her.
Okay, fantastic. That's a great held action. Oh god.
And I'm just going to stay
Whoa.
there, kind of.
sorry.
gardening.
Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry. I was just trying to change some music. What were you saying? Sorry, Raph.
I'm just going to stay there, kind of, I guess, guarding Tithla, making sure that she's behind me and taking up a bit of a aggressive defensive stance.
Yeah, love it. Keeping Tithla safe. Perfect, Grinner. That's your full turn. You are holding your action in case of attack and threat. Luther, you are up next.
okay. I'm gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm gonna go like here.
So yeah,
I'm
Luther,
gonna-
to sort of push past these guys, you have to like push past Theodore, then Jonor, and then step over Tithla's quite badly hurt form,
Okay.
and then step out
Gaunt.
into
We can
the
say
into-
gaunt.
Gaunt. Stepping out over Tithla's quite gaunt form.
Yep. So how much? So that would actually be pretty annoying, then, wouldn't it?
Oh, I mean, you can do it, but just keep in mind that, like, as you push past Theodore, then Jonor, and then step over Tithla, we're not going to treat it as, like, difficult terrain, although I am very tempted to. 5, 10, 15,
What
20.
I might do then... Everyone's probably pretty preoccupied looking here.
Yeah.
I'm going to use some of my climbing speed to skirt around them on the wall, and then peer over here.
Okay. As you get to Tithla... Or do you just do it straight away to get over the top of Theodore and Jonor? You just climb onto the ceiling and begin...
No. Not going to go on the ceiling.
Okay.
I'm going to sort of... Almost like, as I pass them, I'm going to use sort of like the wall as if I'm almost like running on it a little bit, but like sort of staying on... Like, I don't know, like... I don't want to go immediately
like Prince
on
of
the
Persia,
ceiling.
like jumping from wall to wall, so you jump to the first wall,
Keep
then
it
to the second, and then
believable.
begin
Parkour.
running along the wall with your hand against it. Like, not overtly spider climbing per se, but like...
No.
Okay, cool.
It's like...
Make it
It's
like,
like
you're just
Neo,
really
like,
using the spider climb when I need to, and then and when I have a free space, sort of use the
Yes.
ground and switch, like sort of it looks really smooth, but without
Yeah, I'd
overtly
say-
like being like, hey, I can like crawl in the ceiling.
Yeah, so in that case, then yeah, we'll treat it almost like a very like parkourish kind of move where it's not reality defying. It's not gravity defying, but it is like you come out of this looking like someone who's incredibly skilled. Probably at this point they're all thinking like, oh, it's some sort of monk maybe. As he just jumps from wall to wall and then runs along the side of the wall and then drops down. Yeah, Luther, you can absolutely do that. As you drop down in that section there towards the north, you run past the main grand staircase, past the animated armor that had attacked you previously, and arrive in front of a large set of wooden double doors leading towards the north and a single wooden door leading towards the south, just of where you are as you look down this corridor. The doors toward the north have a tree a tree carved in relief into the doors, split down the center, and you can see that the tree grows out and fills this area completely. The door is this beautiful carved tree. Its roots sort of digging down into the carpet below and disappearing, and its branches disappearing into the ceiling above.
Cool.
Carved into this.
I'm gonna ignore that for now. And I'm gonna bring out my heavy crossbow, because I had the daggers, but I would have put them away after the fight with with the armor. So then I bring out my crossbow and I'm holding it. Same thing as Grinner. I'm gonna hold my action. If she shows any aggressive movements or any aggressive actions to anybody in the crew, I will shoot off my crossbow.
Yep.
I'm not gonna say nothing for now, because I don't want to like I don't want to anger her more. I want to see how it plays out for a little bit first.
Okay.
Because she might collapse in on herself. We'll find out.
Who knows? Alrighty. Jonor, you are up next. You kind of
All right.
see this take place a little bit. In your position in the doorway, you see Margaret transform. You're the only one who sees everything happen, actually. You're the only person in that position to see everything. You see Margaret transform into this spectre, move through the walls, attack Tithla, suddenly back off and look horrified and distressed, and then transform back into the Margaret form that you've seen previously.
Jonor is going to, seeing Tithla get drained and dropped, Jonor's reaction is going to be, he has a little bit of healing he can do. He's thinking she's in a lot of trouble, and he's going to go out there. I'm imagining as Luther sort of like parkours over him, he was going to try to go out there, and he's very, very rattled by this creature. I think he'd like slip over as he gets to the other side of Tithla there, from seeing like Luther going overhead. He like falls over and then like is trying to attend to Tithla, and then like does a not lay on hands, a healing hands he's got from like a racial trait.
Yes.
And he like has this gold sort of roll up from his forearms coming out from like the guarding and cloth he's got. His hands, like the palms go to gold, and then he just like lays that onto Tithla, onto her face.
Yeah,
and
your silver
does
eyes probably
2d4.
turn gold as well when you start summoning this holy light.
Yeah.
Nice.
So-
Nice.
2d4.
7 hit points.
Oh, that's not
Ooh.
bad.
That's not bad at all. Tithla, you regain
That's
7
a-
hit points.
Once a long
thank you.
rest.
Yeah, you're now only 2 hit points down, because the 7 necrotic that knocked you down is that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
He turns to Tithla. Are you okay? Are you okay? We can get you out of here. Are you okay? And he just
much better now.
he's stammering. He's stammering. He's freaked out, and he's dropped to the ground as well.
Tithla, you
That's,
are
that's
currently
it for him.
afraid of the spectre of Margaret. Should
Yep.
That's your symbol because you failed your sanity check against her. You are terrified of her. For the
And
moment.
that's general frightened condition, yeah?
Yeah, general fright
Lovely.
condition. Alrighty. Anything else in your turn, Jonor?
That's it.
Alrighty. Margaret. Seeing you, Jonor, healing Tithla and checking on Tithla, being worried about Tithla, she completely ignores Grinner and flies right through you, Grinner, to sort of move here. Not threatening, but just it's almost like she can't see you at this point. And as she flies up to Tithla, you can see she's just openly weeping. She drops down onto her knees and begins trying to get closer to Tithla to see if Tithla's okay. Because your initiatives are the same, I'm actually going to have Tithla, you responding to this while it happens. As this ghost who just drained the life essence from
Absolutely.
you, yeah, gets down and
Yeah,
tries
absolutely.
get closer to you. What's Tithla doing? How's Tithla doing?
Tithla is like, oh, get away from me! Ah! And starts just crawling backwards. Can't even stand up. So I assume she's probably
Yeah.
half speed, and he's just trying to crawl backwards. Like, don't come near me! Get away from me! Don't let it near me!
Yeah, nice. So Tithla, you crawl backwards through the door towards Theodore. I'm guessing who's there, ready to have
Would
his turn.
probably bump into Theodore by accident and not notice, and just completely beside ourselves.
Okay, perfect. You watch as Margaret sees this. I'm going to roll to see how this affects her. Actually, no. I'm going to get one of you to roll how this affects her. Tithla, could you please roll me a D100?
Sure. And if it helps, she's definitely very much like, get away from me!
Oh, yeah. Don't worry. 17.
That's good,
You
right?
watch as... you don't know yet. You'll find out. You watch as Margaret, sort of seeing you scared of her, her whole form, the color begins changing as this dark blue begins washing across her. Previously, where she'd had some skin tones present, some of the clothing tones were still there. Now everything begins fading into this dark blue. And you watch as the tears begin carving tracks in her skin, leaving these deep fissures, and water begins just pouring down her face from her eyes. I'm so sorry. And then she clutches her face in her hands and drops down onto the floor in the fetal position, holding herself and almost rocking backwards and forwards as she fails her sanity check by quite a large margin.
Okay.
Broke the ghost.
That is Margaret's full turn. Tithla, you've still got your action, bonus action, and some of your movement left if you wanted to take it.
I think that's what Tithla would be doing. She's just freaked out.
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
been drained. Yeah.
Could you make me a wisdom save, Tithla? As you bump into Theodore behind you, you're now in a position where you might be able to shake off that fear. And she hasn't made any aggressive moves against you, so you're probably in a position where you might be able to shake it off. Let's have a look. 20.
Oof.
Tithla, you probably seeing her expose herself in such a vulnerable form, just to drop down and assume the fetal position, and you can see her crying. She is in pain from what she's done to you. Probably that's enough to kind of end the immediate fear where you're trying to just get away from her. And probably being close to Theodore. As you bump into Theodore and don't know what it is, and you look up, you see Theodore's face above you, a very familiar face, someone who's protected you and kept you safe. That's probably enough that, yeah, I will take off that you are no longer affected by the frightened condition.
Yeah, Tithla grabs sort of a chunk of fur from Theo and is like,
Oh,
okay, it's okay. And, it's just like a sensory thing for her. Just like, it's okay. Well, I know you. Okay. Well, all right.
Still scared, but no longer to the point where you can't actually function. You need to get out of here. Yeah. Alrighty. Theodore.
Margaret, come in. The baby needs you. I call out to Margaret, trying to get her back to a sense of normality in her ghost.
I like that. She stops rocking, and she looks up. I know Michael's dead.
The wee baby Michael, he is calling from you from the nursery.
I know Michael's dead. I
All
know
right, then.
I am dead. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean I don't know what's wrong with me. I feel like I'm not all myself anymore. She looks up, sort of still from this position on the floor.
I'll scoot over to her, then put Tithla behind me. And can I try and reassuringly pat the ghost?
Yeah, okay. Absolutely you can. I'm going to change the music back. I'm actually going to pause initiative for the moment. We're not ending it, I'm just pausing it. So you can all act as normal for the moment, just because at this point, there's not going to be any further aggressive actions from her. So at this point, all of you have had held actions, they won't get triggered. So I'll pause initiative. We'll see what happens. I may have to restart it. As you go over towards her, Theodore, did you say like pat her like gently on the back?
It's all right.
You go to pat her. Your hand, there's some resistance there, but it's very faint and very light, and your hand passes through her. When it comes out the other side, it feels cold, and you are hit as soon as your hand enters her body with this sense of sorrow, this deep sorrow. She is so deeply ashamed and so deeply sad. This is a deep grief that she is feeling. You think deeper than just, oh, I hurt a child by accident. This is something, there's a deeper grief here.
All right. I try to. Margaret, what is the matter? I know you cannot be so upset about hurting the goblin child. We have all thought about it at least 6 times today. So there is obviously something more bothering you. You can talk to us. We are safe. We mean you no harm.
You're not safe. If you're in here, you're in grave danger. This whole place, it's a trap. A honey trap. It looks warm and inviting, but there's something deeply wrong here. Elizabeth, she did something. She and her husband, Gustav. Something with the items they were getting shipped. They had something in the cellar. What have I done?
The giant relics?
I don't know what they were, but there's something wrong with them. Some magic that they don't know how to control. Everyone in here is dead. There's no one left alive.
Are Elizabeth and Gustav still here in spooky form?
I don't know. I can't move too far away from my room. It's where she killed me.
What the fuck are you still doing here, love? Why didn't you pass on?
I can't. Anyone who dies here, their soul is trapped. This place, it's like its own... I don't know how to describe it, but nothing leaves. Once you enter, you're stuck here. Forever.
Where's your kid then?
Baby Michael. She killed him. She killed him to make this happen.
Oh, that's bloody grim.
Right, so your kid ain't here with you?
Michael's dead. She killed me. Killed him. The children, Rose and Thorn, I don't know where they are. Their parents, they were neglecting them. They were ignoring them. Have you seen them? Are they still here?
No, we have not seen them. But Margaret, have you seen any others that would have looked something like us, perhaps with two moons on their clothes?
Ooh, can you make me a persuasion check, please?
Yeah, I got you.
Party face.
18.
Nice.
Yeah. She sort of pauses and you watch as she cocks her head a little bit. Maybe. I don't remember much. Things reset when people leave. I reset.
I thought you said nobody leaves?
When you leave the rooms, things go back to how they were. I'm not sure, maybe. I think I remember talking to others. And oh God, she clutches her mouth. I attacked others as well. I think I killed someone.
Oh.
We saw downstairs at the dinner table the name of one of the people we're looking for. He would have looked like a big lizard.
I'm I'm sorry. I don't remember. But I think I killed them. Oh, God. This place has made me a monster. She looks down at her transparent hands.
No, it's society that has made you a monster.
But Margaret, how long have you been here like this for?
I don't know. It's been a very long time. The children, Rose and Thorn, there's no way they're still alive. It's been too long. They're dead too somewhere in here.
Well, where's their room?
Upstairs. You'll need to head upstairs to the attic.
The children stayed in the attic?
After their parents, yes. They were made to, yes.
Right, and one more question for you, love, before we leave you to your whatever this is. How do we get into the basement? I don't remember seeing any doorway down there for the basement.
There's a trapdoor. It's hidden. But I think if you've seen through the illusion, I think you'll be able to see it now.
And you're away
Right,
from that
Oh, which
trapdoor.
room? Sorry.
There's
I don't have good eyes.
What do you mean? Which room?
What? Which room is the trapdoor in?
It's on one of the lower floors. I think the room with the wolves.
Classic.
Right,
Marge,
Good thing we didn't set that room on fire or anything.
Marge, I want to say something to you.
Yes, my child.
Wait, okay, that's a bit weird. Can we have a moment in private, please? If you'll join me back in this room here.
Oh no.
She flies through the wall.
I'm currently looking in that room for evidence.
Actually,
Maybe
I would say as she flies through the room, she appears out of the wall next to you, Luther, and as she does so, you hear a click, and she opens a door right next to you.
Oh. Oh.
Marge,
Yes.
I want you to know that I forgive you. And I can speak for the others who were harmed here. If they could understand, and I'm sure they would, we forgive you.
Tithla, could you please roll me another persuasion check, please?
Ooh, -1.
That's not too bad,
14's not
Oh,
too
14.
bad.
considering.
She pauses as you say that. Thank you. Please. I have no right to ask anything of you, young one, but please find a way to break this curse. I don't want to hurt anybody else. I can't hurt anybody else. As she says this, Tithla, you watch as her form transforms back into that of Margaret, the blue sort of fading back into the flesh tone colours, but now you can see across her throat a large gash as if it had been cut by a knife. Blood
Ooh.
down her
Tithla
neck.
sort of gasps. What? Yes, you won't hurt anyone else. I promise you.
Thank you. I know Gustav did some terrible things. But his room, he and Elizabeth's room, is just across the corridor. Could you tell me if he's there? Is he a ghost like me? I feel I need to talk to him. I need to understand why he did what he did. Why he took me.
Okay. We'll go and check and we'll let him know to come and speak to you. And I feel like Tithla should roll a deception check because that is a straight up lie.
Oh, okay. Yes, in that case then. 3. I'll roll for her, but she's going to have disadvantage because you are a child, and she automatically believes things children do. Okay. She sort of looks at you, and you see a little half smile come onto her face. Not a smile of happiness, It's a really sad smile. Of course, young one. Thank you. Then she stands up, floats over towards the bed, and you can see on the bed Theodore and Luther what's left of a slightly mummified corpse of a woman. Hair around her, a large gash across her throat, and blood pooling, long dried now, dried and pooled around her arms and shoulder. And Margaret looks down, very sad at her own body on the bed, and then fades away, disappearing from view.
Seeing that happen, so the spirit has disappeared.
For the moment.
Body's still there, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Jonor is going to walk up to the body, and is there any possible prestidigitation that he can be doing just to sort of clean up the mess if there's blood just sprawled everywhere?
Yes.
The
blood you can definitely clean up, yeah, and the sort of rotted bodily fluids that have leaked out as well, and the flesh, you can kind of clean most of that up, leaving behind just the sort of dried, mummified body. You clean the cheat sheets as best you can. This will take a little bit of time, Jonor, as you do so. So while you're doing that, we'll jump over and ask each person what they're doing. Now, Luther, you've been in here having a bit of a look around, looking for evidence. Would you like to roll me an investigation check, and I'll tell you what you have found.
Damn, that's a 2 + 3, 5.
5. Luther, you had a good long look. You missed the body on the bed.
Damn.
You just, it was in the darkness, half covered by a sheet with some cobwebs. You just thought it was maybe a pillow or some bunched up blankets. But
Nice.
now that it's been revealed as a body, you're like, oh shit, I missed that.
I'm gonna play it cool like I never missed it.
Yeah. But yeah, there's not a huge amount you pick up walking around the room.
Damn.
As she opens this secret door, you're like, whoa! That was a wall! Yeah. We know what Tithla will be doing because Tithla's been talking to Margaret. Grinner, what would you be doing, buddy?
Grinner's going to sidle into the room.
Yep.
And just come down to these doors here and just kind of crack them and just stick his head around.
Grinner, as you go to try and push these doors open, the doors do have glass windows in them, so I will remove this so that you can see the outside from where you are. You can see a balcony, mist covering its entire surface as it swirls around. And as you go to open the doors, they're locked.
Alright, I'm not pushing that. I don't want to really go out there. That's creepy as all get out outside. So I'm happy to leave those locked.
Alrighty.
I'd probably just light another cigarette.
Perfect. And Theodore, what would you be doing?
I'd scooted back into this room once Tithla had moved in to talk to Marge, so I probably was milling about with Luther having a little investigate.
Yeah, do you want to roll me an investigation as well then, Theodore?
Can do.
Can do, Pikachu. 16. Yeah, Theodore, as you have a bit of a look around, yeah, this bedroom was probably once quite for a servant, an elegantly appointed bedroom. The double doors set with the panes of stained glass that Grinner's looking out of right now. You had a good look at those. You can see the stained glass shows, again, this beautiful forest vista. The bedroom has this large bed in the very center. Not a 4-poster bed, but very nice bed, nice comfy mattress once upon a time. 2 end tables and the wardrobe as well. And you had a bit of a peek in the wardrobe. There wasn't much in there, just some rotted, empty clothes. A full-length mirror standing next to the wardrobe. As you look into it, you don't really see anything. The mirror seems to have tarnished. All you can see is this very shadowy outline of yourself peering back. And as you sort of turn to look at the next thing, for a second you could have sworn your shadowy outline didn't move and is still in position. And then you look back, it's gone. It's a bit spooky.
Oh, that's spooky.
You also see some doors right where Tithla is leading into what looks to be some sort of smaller room. And I'll say that you have a quick peek into, and you can see that it is clearly a nursery with a bassinet sitting at the far end, covered in cobwebs. It's not much else.
Scoot in, have a quick look around.
Yeah, you have a look inside the bassinet. It is empty. There's no sign of any child or the remains of a child in there. The room probably was once a fairly new setup. You can see that the wallpaper seems a bit fresher than some of the other wallpaper around. You can see that it depicts what looked to be stars and a field, but it has, again, with the sudden transformation and this disruption of illusion magic, has peeled and yellowed and turned into this very decrepit scene as you
Right.
peer into the nursery.
All right, pop back out. And it was the wardrobe that you flew through that Luther had to click through earlier, right?
Exactly, and that has now opened up, revealing a staircase leading up
Yeah.
towards the floor above.
Ooh.
Shall we, gents?
I think
Gentet?
so. Let me hop in front there, lads. I think best to have a man with the wits about him going upstairs first. What you reckon?
My beefy
I
7
can lead if that's what you're asking.
It is absolutely not, Tithla, but thanks for your concern, love. You just stay there.
So, don't forget that. Oh, we've already moved.
I just
we
thought
do
I'd
have.
put you partway up the stairs.
We
Most
do
of you
have the Durst across the room. Elizabeth and Gustav's room. Don't forget that.
Yeah, you are right with that one. I don't know. I feel like I want to just clear out the attic, make sure that there's not two fucking creepy gremlin half-dead children running around up there, and then maybe we can come back down
Is
and
it
move over
worth
that way.
us just setting up shop and just having a breather for a minute before we go adventuring?
Not with that crazy bitch in the fucking room. We never know what she's gonna do. No,
No,
fuck
she's
that.
chill. She's good. We're friends.
Yeah, right now she said she resets. How long until she comes back? Doesn't know what the
if we
fuck's
leave
going
the-
on.
That's if we leave the room. We just won't leave the room.
We have had many conversations about you being far too trusting of strangers.
Well, none of them have ever sent me astray. That you know.
Well, that one
too
fucking
bad.
did.
It tried to drain your life. Is a miracle you're not dead. You look worse than the bed than the corpse on the bed.
Well,
Even,
that's just
even
my
with
natural
the,
color. That's not my fault.
Even with the healing, Tithla still has a handprint around her neck where the skin has not returned to its full dark green. It still is this pale, sickly looking green color from where the hand was placed around your neck and the life force drained. Tithla, you still don't look amazing. This handprint is still there.
Oof.
But you know, I trust you all. So
Well, look, I never was no sergeant, so I better take it orders and give it him. So somebody
were you
give
a
me some
sergeant?
fucking No, I was not a sergeant. I did not get that far.
sorry, I thought you had the double negative there. My bad.
What? Yeah. Anyway, what are we doing?
Upstairs?
I-
Downstairs?
Upstairs has my vote for whatever it's worth.
Yeah, I vote for upstairs.
Upstairs.
I'll go wherever you guys reckon. I'm not really sure.
All right, looks like we're going upstairs.
All right, lads, behind me then.
As you guys move into the narrow stairwell heading up towards the attic, the quarters of this are very cramped, and as you begin climbing this very rickety staircase, the whole house groans and creaks, echoing through this tiny narrow passageway. As you emerge at the top floor, Grinner, and open up the door, you can see a bare hallway, large, open in front of you, choked with dust and cobwebs. You can see there are a couple of doors leading out of this room to various other locations in the attic. 2 doors towards the north, 1 door towards the southwest, and 1 door towards the southeast as you move into the hallway. This whole region seems very abandoned, very unwelcoming.
Hello, Durst kiddies. Any of you little fucking monsters up here?
Rose, Thorn.
As you say
Kettle.
Rose and Thorn, perfect, thank you. You hear a voice coming from the door just immediately towards the north of where you guys are.
Someone needs to gag Tithla.
You've already got choke marks around your neck. A gag might be too much.
You hear a voice calling out, "Hello? Margaret, is that you?"
No, she's downstairs.
We are friends of hers, though. Why don't you come out really slowly with your hands where we can see them?
Another voice speaks up, a little bit deeper, but sounding much like a much younger child. We can't leave here.
Right, well, step the fuck away from the door, alright? I'm coming over.
Do you have anything of remote value to us in these rooms?
Are you asking them that?
Well, whisper that to my compatriots.
Okay, just checking. Yeah, Grinner, do you want to open the door?
I'm gonna just yell out, right, back the fuck away, and I'm gonna kick the door open.
As you kick the door in, the room in front of you is clearly a child's bedroom, or was once a child's bedroom. You can see that there is a window that has been bricked up, flanked by 2 dusty wood-framed beds sized for children. Closer to the door, as you kick it in, you can see a toy chest with windmills painted on its side and a dollhouse that, as you look at it, Grinner, it's a perfect replica of the manor that you saw from the outside, as the manor as you saw it from the outside. Everything in this room, though, is covered in cobwebs, and right in front of you, lying in the middle of the floor, are 2 small skeletons, wearing the remains of fine clothing that have aged and tattered. The slightly larger one is wrapped around the smaller one, as if clutching it close. You can just see these 2 skeletons lying in the floor. Hovering at the back wall are 2 children, partially transparent, dressed in very fine clothing. Looks to be a match for the clothing that is on the skeletons in front of you. The girl looks to be maybe about 10, maybe even like 11. The boy looks to be around 6, possibly even a bit younger, maybe even 5. And as you kick the door in, the boy grabs his little stuffed rabbit and holds it close. Ah, who are you? What are you doing in here? As you kick the door in, the sister puts her arm around him. Shh, it's okay. It's okay. It's all right. They can't hurt you. They can't hurt you, Thorn.
No, I'm not here to hurt you if you're not here to hurt us. Right? My name's Grinner. We've met a couple of you lot. Well, one of you lot downstairs. You're not gonna turn into anything pale and start fighting us, are ya?
The kid sort of looks at you. The boy looks at you, tilts his head. I can say the names. You know the names. Thorn sort of tilts his head a bit confused as he looks at you.
Wait, that's Rose and Thorn?
Fuck you. You did call out their names. I mean, Thorn tilts his head as if a bit confused. Monster? We're not monsters. You're a monster kicking in our door. The girl goes, shh, it's okay. It's okay. We're not. We're ourselves. We're just ghosts now.
Right, so you know you're dead then, yeah?
Yes. She looks down at the bodies in front of you. Yes, I remember that all too well.
What killed you?
We starved to death.
Oh, that's pretty shit.
Where were your parents?
Thorn sort of clutches close to Rose. Why do they keep talking about our dad and mum? I don't want to talk about mum and dad. They left us up here. Rose goes, shh, it's okay. It's okay. I know. I don't know. I haven't seen my mother or father for a very long time. They locked the door to keep us in. Hence, you guys didn't know this because Grinner just fucking They locked the door to keep us in. They told us that there was something. They were having guests over. They were doing something downstairs and we couldn't be a part of it. Then they never came back. We were stuck in here.
The door is open now. You're free to leave. Bon voyage.
If only that were that simple. We can't leave this room. This is where we died.
We could take your wee skeletons downstairs. Would that help?
I don't know. No one's ever offered to do that before.
Right, let's find out. I'm going to tentatively step into the room.
Ah, as you do, Grinner. No, nothing happens. And you watch as Grinner's flesh begins being torn off his face as the little kid latches his face around Grinner, begins sucking the blood out of his face. No, none of that happens.
Finally.
As you step into the room, Grinner, Thorn moves further behind his sister, not wanting to be close to you at all.
I'm gonna
pushing himself into the back corner.
My arms out and very gently and slowly, I'm gonna move towards the skeletons. And I'm assuming, are they mummified downstairs, or are they partly
mummified? But you can actually see that there is a crack in the roof above one of the beds where water has leaked through. The room is actually covered in water damage. You suspect, from what they said before about starving to death, you think that they were able to drink the water that was coming in through this gap in the roof. So their bodies have undergone a slightly greater decomposition than Margaret's downstairs. Parts of the skeleton are no longer attached. You're going to have to find something to gather these bones up in.
I'll
Trigger
take my
warning, by the
cloak
way,
off. I'll take my cloak off.
Wait, hang on a sec. Let me have a look. And Tithla would like to make a survival check to see if she can work out how long these bones have been.
Yeah,
Bones
good call.
and not skinned.
Not skin. Yeah, give me a survival check.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, 19.
19. Tithla, this is advanced decomposition. These bodies could have been here for hundreds of years.
Everybody, I have news. These bodies could have been here anywhere between 1 year and
Oh,
400.
definitely not a year. You know that, like,
What?
minimum, this is like 10 years worth of decomposition.
Tithla knows.
Oh, okay. Just checking. Just checking.
Anywhere between 1 year and 400 years. Maybe more. Probably on the higher side, though. Like hundreds of years. Long time.
Yeah, that does kind of check out there, Tithla.
You're welcome.
Just gonna like lay the cloak down and just.
I will
guess-
tap him as you sort of do the cloak. I'll tap you on the shoulder and go, look, you probably don't need to get your coat dirty. Like, I think there's like is that a chest there? Like a.
Yeah, as you look in the room, Luther, you can see that there is a toy chest next to the dollhouse. It's filled with toys, but they.
If we took the toys out, could we put the bodies in there?
Yeah, probably could. Yeah, easily.
You probably don't need to soil your coat. We could just chuck it in that chest there.
Well, I did wonder about that, but I didn't know about the idea of fucking around with their room. But if you want to give it a go, Luther, be my guest, mate. I'm just having no
maybe
part
we
of
should.
it.
So, Rose and Thorn, are you guys alright if we sort of vacate these toys and use this chest to transport your remains?
Thorn speaks up immediately. No, don't touch my toys. They're not yours. Hands off.
Tom
Rose
Katrina,
shushes him
little
again.
bitch.
Rose shushes him again. Shh. What are you planning to do with our bodies?
Well, you're
Pop
kind
and
of
shove.
just a little bit of an experiment at this stage. We want to see if we take you out of the room, if you can follow us out to start with, and past that, we'll come up with an idea later.
And also, like, we'll lay your bones to rest wherever we can find some sort of ground like that.
Yeah,
What do
what
you,
he said.
Use them in a puppet shop.
No,
We won't be doing
No.
that. Ignore that.
ignore that. We're not doing a puppet show
He
with
waxed.
your bones.
Wax Theodore on the chest. What do you think of Margaret? Do you like her?
Margaret was always really nice to us. She took care of us until Dad took her away. And then she changed after that. Dad came in one night really drunk, told us to go to bed. Margaret tried to come with us and he dragged her away. She was really sad after that. Didn't play with us as much.
Right, I'm going to start taking toys out of the chest.
Yeah. Take the toys out. Yeah, you begin, like, these are almost dust at this point, Grinner. As you begin taking them out, they've rotted away to almost nothing. As you just scooping these fragments of what was once toys out, you can see Thorn getting a bit unhappy, a bit sort of distressed as he watches his toys just being...
I'll start moving some of the toys closer to Thorn, like over in this space. But look, they're all here.
I'll move you in the room then, Luther.
You can't play with them anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, perfect. Between the two of you...
Let's stop being ridiculous here, ghost children.
Yeah. Between the two of you, you empty the chest pretty quickly. Yeah, it's a very small toy chest. Only one person would need to carry this. Wouldn't even need to be that strong. A strength of 11 would be more than enough to carry this.
As we're pulling the toys out, I'm just going to turn to Thorn. I know that most of the toys are falling apart, but I'll just say, look, little fella, how about you let me know when I pull out one that's your favourite, right? And I'll leave it in there with your bones. How's that sound?
He points at his skeleton.
My favourite's there.
and you see the remains of what was probably once a stuffed rabbit clutched in the skeleton's hands against his chest, similar to the one he's currently holding.
Right, well, it looks like you've taken good care of it, mate. So I'll just get rid of these other fucking ones and we'll get your little bodies in this chest. I wish this was the first time I've done this.
Grinner, language around the kids.
They're dead, mate. I don't think it matters at this point.
Sort of be reverent.
What are you gonna do?
Rose kind of chuckles and goes, "If what your friend, the little girl, was saying is true, then we're a couple of 100 years old. I think we can know naughty words now."
That's fair.
Right, in your pop, kids. And I'm just going to start kind of gently scoop them up and stick them in the chest.
Can you make me a sleight of hand check, please, Grinner?
Well, can we try and at least like keep them sort of their own structure and stuff?
Yeah, Luther, can you give us
I'll give him a
with
hand.
this, mate?
Yeah.
Okay, and you're trying to keep the bodies separate, right? So
I mean,
that
like-
they're-
Yeah, like keep them in their own.
We'll try and keep them in their
bodies.
own,
Yeah.
but it's a small space. Like they'll probably like fall apart on top of each other, but try and keep them sort of like.
Is there anything
their
you
own
want to do
thing.
to try and help keep them apart? Maybe using things in the room.
Glue.
I mean, like, is there like a divider we can put in the
A
chest?
pillow.
There's
You, like,
some
stick one of them in the
sheets on
pillowcase.
bed.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
grab
this-
something like that just as a divider in the middle and place them on either side of it.
Yeah, I mean the sheets have holes and are damaged, but if you roll it up, you can use it as a divider. Absolutely, yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
11 and 6. We'll take the 11, Grinner. As you
Yeah,
pile
that
up the
makes
sheets,
sense.
yeah, as you pile up the sheets in the center and then very delicately begin taking the bones out, placing them very gently inside the chest. I mean, they're not in the best condition anyway, and as you transport them, they do start to crumble a bit, they start to fragment a bit, but on the whole, you are able to transport them with as much care as you can at this point. And as you load them into the chest and close the chest, hold it, give it a bit of a test, and it seems pretty solid and pretty sturdy.
Right. I guess I'll pick this up. I would take it upon myself to assume that I'm probably the strongest one out of our group, and I'll lift the chest up and try and lug it back out into the hallway, I guess.
As you go to step out of the room, Grinner, Thorn kind of speaks up. What if we can't go? You can't leave us. And as Rose goes to grab him, he darts out of her grip, flies forward, and flies into you, Grinner.
Whoa!
Grinner, could I have you please roll me a... You laughing at
What?
So
What's happening?
Could I have you please roll me a charisma saving throw?
Oh boy, that's one that I'm good at.
I know. It's gonna be good. 10.
Oh, no.
As Thorn flies into you, Grinner, you are now possessed. However,
Fuck yes.
However, you are still in control of your body. You can hear Thorn's personality, his mind, and his thoughts in the back of your head. You gain the following flaw. I am scared of everything, including my own shadow, and weep with despair when things don't go my way.
That's great.
Oh fuck yes.
I will paste it into chat for you to add to your character sheet. You have this flaw for the moment.
Hey,
We
Rose,
see this happen.
what just... Where's
Rose
your
just sort of
brother
looks.
gone?
He's possessed your friend. I'm so sorry. He's been so afraid about being left behind. I'm so sorry.
Well,
Thorn, get out of there right now.
Grinner,
What the fuck
inside
you
your
mean
mind.
you? What?
Sorry, you go.
Possess? I run out of the room with the box.
you're scared of it? You're scared of being possessed?
Yes.
Rose sort of like looks and goes,
New children were a bad idea.
Thorn, get out of there right now.
she looks at you, Luther. I'm so sorry. Let me see if I can go. And as she flies towards the door, it's almost like she smashes into some invisible barrier and rebounds off it, being thrown backwards, her body sort of floating in the air. Fuck, she says.
All right, come possess me and I can take you out to see your brother.
You do that?
Yes, I will do that if you promise to get back out when I tell you to get out.
Yes, of course.
And Theodore, she flies into you. As she passes into you, you're choosing to willingly fail
Yeah,
this.
willfully fail the Christmas save.
Fantastics. That's great. You, as she flies in, you feel the personality and the memory sort of in the back of your mind of Rose. You gain the following flaw. I like being in charge and get frustrated when other people tell me what to do.
I can roll with that.
Nice and straightforward, right? I'll paste that into chat too.
Yeah.
You don't know how long that's going to last.
Grinner's going to put the box down, come over into this corner, sink down onto his butt on the floor, and just start crying.
Oh, Grinner, as you sit down, you've spent a lifetime trying to sort of suppress these emotions. Because on the battlefield, these can get you killed. But it's almost like the
Crying in a corner, yeah.
The floodgates have opened. Like this fear, this sadness, it's like it's untapped, and you're not just feeling this for the moment, you're feeling all those times you had tried to suppress it previously. There, just bubbling away under the surface, suddenly now tapped in and available to you as you get into the corner and start crying. Luther, Tithla, Jonor, and Theodore, you see this incredibly gruff, grizzled mercenary go into the corner, curl up, and then begin weeping like a little child. Thumb in the mouth as well, like...
Yeah.
Arguably the most frightening thing we've seen all day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thorn, you get out of him now. Wow, I went really bored. It's not very nice.
Jonor, seeing this sort of, his like strong leading figure collapse in front of him, is going to rattle him. He just like takes a seat down and is just like processing.
You are already possessed by the boy.
Theodore, as you say this, Rose in your mind speaks up as well, and as she does so, for a brief moment, you lose control of your mouth, and Rose speaks through you, her voice coming through your mouth.
I was going to let her anyway.
Oh, cool. Then in that case, then you just hand over control really briefly. Yeah, that's not a problem at all. You watch as Theodore, like, his body language changes a bit as Rose kind of briefly takes control. Hands on the hips, like waggles a finger at Grinner.
Thorn, stop being ridiculous. Stop this now. Come on. We've left the room. They've got the box. Come on, get out of there. Look what you're doing to this man.
That little boy's starved to fucking death. What the fuck?
Grinner, in your mind, yeah, like you hear Thorn. He's scared. If he leaves you, he might disappear. What if he leaves and he just disappears and he ceases to be? He can't leave you. Something might happen to him.
We can't have that. That little boy. He's got to be God for. Oh fuck! I've lost so many people over the years. I can't lose the kids too.
I take back control now. Bonsoir, Grinner. You are being absolutely absurd. You and this little boy are being completely ridiculous. The worst case scenario is that he'll pass on like he absolutely should have already. You let him out, and Thorn, you get out of him right now.
Sorry, Theo, I think the worst case would be they attack us.
Tithla is not helpful.
I'm going to
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna move like next to Jonor, pick him up. I'm gonna move in front of Grinner, and I'm gonna look at him in the eyes. I'm gonna say, "Now look, we've known each other for a while now. We've been through a lot. I know the things that you got up to on the battlefields. This, you've had to fight with fear, and through fear. It's all right to be fearful, but we need you up and at 'em. Yeah, even though everything might be scary, you gotta push through it, like you always do."
Can you make me a persuasion check, please, Luther, with advantage for what Theo and Rose said before?
Can I cast guidance on?
Yes, you may cast guidance. Yes, you may.
Sweet. 18.
A guide.
18. A single point of guidance. 18. Grinner, you suddenly feel this presence within your mind start to leave, and you watch as Thorn rises up and pulls himself out of your body, ending the possession. You lose that floor. That floor is no longer present. Thorn looks down, really sadly,
I'm not disappearing. I guess it's okay then.
You're out of the room.
I am. I'm out of the room. I'm now in this shit corridor.
What happens when
After
you
being-
swear around their children?
Theodore,
after-
Rose would leave your body too,
Yeah.
knowing that.
I'm just gonna stagger to my feet and throw up in the corner just while this is going on. Like, that was a lot for Grinner. Please carry on.
So they can. I think we can move them now. So, I mean, if you're friends with the maid Margaret, then would you want to go to Margaret?
Yes, please take us to Margaret.
Yeah,
Yes.
we can do that. I think she probably misses you as well.
Yes, we miss her. It's been a long time since we've seen her. Yes,
Um,
please take us to Margaret.
Hey, Jonor walks up to Grinner, just gives him a tap on the back. When you're ready, can you take this box, please?
I kind of like over my shoulder, kind of without even making any eye contact. I'll nod and wipe my mouth and my eyes and kind of stagger around. Right.
Before you go, there's something you should know. Quick, follow me. There's more than one way down to the basement.
And Rose flies through Theodore towards the other side of the room, and then through a door into a room beyond, disappearing from view.
I try and open that door that you went through.
Yeah, as you move through into the room, you can see a large open area, about 15 feet by 20 feet, this massive open room. And inside, all you can see are these figures covered in white sheets. For a moment, there's a pause when you're like, oh shit, this is the ghost room. Before you realize, no, they're actual white sheets. This is a storage room. The chamber is packed with old furniture, chairs, coat racks, mirrors, mannequins. There's a few standard dressings and things like that, all of them covered in these dusty white sheets. And as Rose enters into the room and moves up towards the wall, just where you guys actually stepped in, she places her hand on the wall, and you watch as her hand passes through, and you hear a and then a doorway opens, revealing a spiral staircase heading directly down.
Much obliged.
We'll go down to Margaret. You said she was in her room, correct?
Yes, that is correct. She is down there. Look, it's probably best you do not mention Michael, and be very gentle with her. She is somewhat fragile these days.
Yes, we can do that. What are you going to do with our bodies down there? There's a family crypt down there. Would you lay them to rest there?
Yes, it's either that or we could put on a puppet show and you can travel the world and see the world and be famous.
Thorn stamps his ghostly imaginary foot.
No, I don't want to be a puppet. Why is the goat saying such mean things?
Because the goat isn't really from here, and the goat doesn't understand what it's like to be a normal person sometimes. I love you, but you don't.
This is a big call coming from you. You scared an entire town by carrying around an owlbear corpse.
Again, I didn't do that. I just got a new coat. I don't know what happened. Coincidence? Probably. Same day? Who knows? I didn't do it on purpose, maybe.
All right, little one, if you don't want to be a puppet, we will take you down to your crypt.
Hey,
I
me
don't
or
wanna be a
him?
puppet.
No, okay, yeah, you can go to the crypt with Tithla.
Thorn then flies back through the wall, heading out towards the stairway down. As Rose sort of goes to follow, she pauses for a second and looks back.
There's some pretty dark stuff down in the basement. I can feel it. If you're going to take a rest, you look a bit hurt. Now's probably a good time to do so before you head down. There's a stove. I'm sure you can burn some of the furniture for some warmth. We don't need it anymore. There's some beds in the guest rooms as well, just above you, and down towards the south.
Yeah, look, I can take a hint.
You're gonna need some luck. She's down there. Mum. She's done something terrible. I can feel it. Have you seen our dad, by the way? I can't sense him anywhere in the house.
No, we have not seen your dad. We've only seen Margaret in a very aggressive suit of armor.
Oh. Okay. If you do see him, I don't know what to say.
I'm not going to lie, Rose, your dad sounds pretty shit.
Yeah. But he's still my dad, you know? Like,
What about your mom? Is she still your mom?
she's still Mum. I hope. What's left of her anyway.
Well, you just stay safe with Margaret, and if we sort out what's in the basement and it's all safe, we will let you know. But hopefully, you can just happily pass on with your brother and Margaret.
We're dead. I don't think anything worse can happen to us at this stage. But thank you.
She nods and then drifts through the wall as well as she and Thorn disappear down the staircase.
Well,
Actually, they just
before
float through
do-
the floor. They don't bother. They just float downward through the floor.
Before they do, I want to get down while that conversation was happening on that side of the wall. I just want to get down on Thorn's level,
Yeah.
like kneel down in front of him. Look, kid, you've been in my head, so you know that I'm not gonna hurt you, right?
He nods without saying.
Yeah. Now, you had a pretty fucked run of it, little fella. I'm not gonna lie. That's you're
nods
pretty
again.
shit cards
Touches
that you
his
picked
rabbit.
there, mate. And I just want you to know that although a lot of people out there didn't really care for you or look after you and locked you in the fucking room, you've had the worst that it's going to get. You know, it will get better from here. I don't know what's on the other side, but it's not going to get any fucking worse now. So all this fear that you have, you need to find a way to let go of that, because it won't serve you in the next place. Find some happiness. Look after your sister. She needs you too. I'm just going to nod to him man to man and stand up.
Grinner, as you go to stand up, his hand sort of clutches at your hand and pulls you back down again. Very faint pressure. Sort of nods, and then he places his tiny little hand on your hand, just on the top of it, and you feel this sudden moment of almost like a cold, but not a burning cold, more like a blast of this light, cool air across you. And as he takes his hand away, this tiny little glowing handprint is left on your skin. Thorn gives you a nod. For luck. And then disappears through the floor.
All right, mate. See ya.
That was so cute.
I'll make a note of that. That might play into something a little bit later on.
Well, guys, there's a stove in the other room we can use for warmth and plenty of beds. Rose was kind enough to recommend we take a rest up here. She said it should be safe and implied there was dangerous things ahead, to say the least.
We've also got that the room downstairs, the parents' room. We could have a quick peek before we have our rest.
If you want, it is. Oh yes, the room to the north downstairs. I remember. I thought you meant the maid's room, and I was thinking that perhaps you not want to rest in there. The bed is full of corpse.
Full of corpse.
Look, I'm happy to go down and have a look at that room, but I just had a pretty decent heart-to-heart with that kid, and it's going to be awkward if I see him again.
Everyone says goodbye and then walk the same way, Chris.
Good luck.
And Marge said the room's reset if we leave, so she may not know who we are if we go back through.
I don't want to have to deal with that fucking bitch again.
Yeah, I mean, she bought my lies this time, but I don't know that I'll be able to lie her again.
Wait, what was your lie?
That we would totally tell Gus and that she was there and see how he's going. Or something like that.
No.
Well, I guess we'll just rest up and head downstairs then.
Yeah, look, Jonor, I know you want to have a look around. I know it's in your nature to make sure everything's, squared away like that. But maybe we can have a sticky beak once we're down in the basement.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
done
sure.
with all that.
Absolutely.
Come back up later.
Well, I will say one thing. I think that there could be some potential clues or things that we could use against Elizabeth, because we're going down there, and from what it sounds like she's doing some evil shit. So whatever we can use against her would be great. I think Rose and Thorn will honestly keep Margaret sort of, docile. I think we should be fine.
Right, so you want to go have a look at that other room? Is that what you're saying?
I would like to have a quick look at that room.
All right. Majority rule, I guess. Who else is on the fence or has an opinion?
Yeah, I'll go down.
All right.
Tithla.
I can stay here with you, Grinner, if you do not want the awkward conversation with the child. I don't particularly relish the idea of being possessed again.
Yeah, look, I don't think that it's a very good idea if we split up. This house is very far from safe yet, and fuck knows what's behind that door. So I will pit a awkward conversation with that 6-year-old child against potential death of half of our group, I think.
That's probably a fair.
All right, then I'll come along too.
Alrighty.
Can I suggest that I lead the way through Marge's room? I seem to have somewhat of a relationship with her. Some rapport. No, rapport. He's silent.
I personally think we should just not talk to her at all.
Just walk on.
I agree, but
You
in
wanna
the
snub
event
her?
that she reaches out.
No eye contact. Don't talk to her, Tithla. Yeah, you take the lead, love. But if you fuck it up again, it's your last chance. There won't be any more leading for you.
Oh, I've heard that before. Do you know how many last chances I've had?
Yeah, not from me, love. Just try it and find out.
Okay, I'm sorry.
As
So
you guys
what are
head-
the rules?
Oh, sorry.
I need to understand the rules before I know. So no reaching out. If she talks to me, can I talk to her?
Yeah, just don't fuck it up.
Can I wave? You know what? We'll work it out. I'll work
Can
it
I
out.
can
Yeah,
I
I
maybe
think a- I
save
think
you
a
guys
wave
a
actually
bit of
pretty good.
time? As you come back down the stairs, you can see that there's actually 2 doorways out of this stairwell. One of them to the north, one of them into the room with Margaret. You don't necessarily have to go into the room with Margaret.
Sweet.
You can just go straight onto the balcony.
I mean, if
No.
you can dodge it, I think it's probably
Most
good.
terrifying thing in this entire house would be an awkward conversation.
In the interest of avoiding an awkward conversation, you guys take that doorway and just don't head through the secret door to where Margaret. As you come down the stairway, you can hear Rose and Thorn talking to Margaret. You can't quite make out what they're saying, but it sounds like Margaret is sort of sobbing. I'm not sure if it's with sadness
character.
or with happiness. Yeah, not sure. As you get towards the room to the north with the large double doors with the beautiful engraving of a tree, you can see that it is clearly some sort of master bedroom. And as you open the door and push your way in, the sight that greets you is what was once an opulent master bedroom. Burgundy drapes covering the windows, a 4-poster bed with embroidered curtains and tattered gossamer veils, wardrobe standing on either side, a vanity with a wood-framed mirror, and sitting on the vanity, a large jewelry box in front of a padded chair. A tiger skin rug lies on the floor in front of the fireplace, half rotted, the teeth having broken out, and you can see above the fireplace is a dust-covered portrait of Gustav and Elizabeth. The portrait of Gustav has been torn as if with a knife or a blade, cutting him up into pieces. Above the bed, hanging from the ceiling, trigger warning, a desiccated corpse swings slowly in a phantom breeze. A makeshift noose made from bed sheets hangs around the neck and clothes, and despite having been fouled by the rotting corpse, clearly of a very fine make.
But no
ghost.
Gustav ghost?
No ghost.
No Gustav?
No Gustav.
How about that jewelry box?
Yeah, you head on over and have a bit of a look at the jewelry box. As you have a bit of a look inside, you can see the jewelry box is made of a silvery metal. Could be like a brushed iron, could be silver, with some gold filigree worth. And as you open it up and look inside, you can see there are some gold rings and a necklace with a pendant.
In the sack.
Alrighty, you can add 3 gold rings, and in the interests of expediency, each of them is worth 25 gold pieces. And there is a silver necklace with a topaz pendant that is worth 250 gold pieces.
Nice.
For a total.
Do you want me to type that in? 3 gold.
Yes.
Alright, I'll type it in for you.
This one's actually real. It's not a fake item this time.
Oh,
Ha, you don't know.
Unless there's double illusion going on. Speaking of which, hey Tithla, you grabbed those cards from downstairs, didn't you? The playing cards. Do you still have them?
Well, of course I do. 2 diamonds is good luck.
Are they still there?
Well, yeah. And she pulls them out. And...
Like the
shows
black
them.
enameled box containing the playing cards.
Yeah. They're legit. They're actually real.
Yeah, Jonor. As you look at the playing cards, no longer are there playing cards inside this box. As you open up the enamel box and look in, you see strange cards that you don't really recognize. These look like they're playing cards, but they look a bit different. There are symbols on them that you are not familiar with. As you have a look at them, you can see that there is a very strange looking figure. Almost it looks like a blind man with a noose behind him, and the card says the Executioner. And as you lift up the next card, you can see another one, the Innocent. And as you keep looking, you can see there's all sorts of different decks, essentially, or different suits. The suits seem to be swords, stars, coins, and glyphs. Looks like some sort of tarot deck.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Arcana check on those ones. So I'm trying to see if there's any religious background to it.
Yeah,
Sorry,
absolutely.
no, Arcana background, magic background, not
Yeah,
religion.
give me an Arcana roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it, baby. Let's see it.
Oof.
8. Oh, it's still a deck of cards. It just doesn't look like any suits or cards that you're used to, Jonor. You don't get the sense that they're magical per se, but there's something about them that you can't quite shake. I mean, as you go through the glyphs, the glyph cards, you can see that these are all like people with magic. Oh, sorry, no, the stars. A wizard, a transmuter, diviner, enchanter, abjurer, elementalist, evoker, illusionist, necromancer, conjurer. These are all the schools of magic. And as you flip through, something about this seems different. I'm not sure what this really is or what it's for, but this seems important.
He's gonna lean on his investigatory friend. Hey Luther, check out these cards. They've changed.
What? Yeah, they're my cards. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Can we share them around just to have a look? Is that okay?
Okay, but I want it on the record that everyone thought I was silly for picking these up, and now here they are, super important.
Tithla, I think you had a great find. You did a really good job. Thank you.
And I don't appreciate the condensation.
Oh, no, I don't think...
Wait, hold on.
I don't get the sense that Jonor has a condescending bone in his body.
She also said
many condensing bones.
Exactly, I know. He does have a condensation bone in his body. When he's out in those mists, he was getting condensated quite good. Yeah, as Jonor hands over some of the cards to you, Luther, you're not really familiar with these. Do you want to make me an investigation or Arcana check, please? Or a history. I'd allow history too. Investigation, Arcana, or history. I'll tell you different things based on which one you roll.
Investigation's still probably the highest,
Yeah.
but I feel like I actually don't think investigation. Look, with the investigation, if I'm looking at the cards, what am I sort of gaining from that?
I'm going to tell you things that you can see about them, things that you can glean just from looking at them. Nothing
Okay.
that you would know beforehand. History will be things that you might know about them beforehand. Arcana is going to be sort of trying to assess the magic that might be there, or if there's anything magical in nature, if you can glean that. So investigation is going to tell you things that you can discern here and now. History is going to be things that you can impact with
I'm
your
gonna say-
personal knowledge.
Nothing really magical with them. I had a glance. Nothing really magical about it. Just
Well, I might look for I might get the magnifying glass out and start looking at the cards and inspecting them, even seeing what material they're made of. Like if they actually they could just be like sort of like normal material, but there might be a different material. And looking at any icons in the background and stuff. So let's do the investigation with advantage because of the magnifying glass.
Yeah, let's see it. 17, 21. These cards are very well made. there's something about them. These probably were paper, but they've been treated with some chemical, maybe a resin on the outside. The cards themselves are actually quite stiff and quite hard. You also get the sense they're probably waterproofed as well. The box, the enamel box that they came in, you looked at these before, it's bigger than it was. These cards are not the size of normal playing cards. They're bigger than, you could swear they were bigger than when you first picked them up and had a bit of a look at them. The paper is beautiful. The drawings on them even more so. The artwork has a distinctly creepy feel to it though, Luther, as you look over it. A lot of the symbols show monsters or creatures that are a bit terrifying to look at is the best way to describe it. There's one that is literally a severed head of what looks to be some monster in a jar called the Artifact. There's another one of a figure, a very scary looking figure with horns sitting in a high-backed chair called the Dark Lord. This entire deck...
With that one, what was that, a figure?
A figure sitting in a high-backed chair shrouded in darkness. Long black hair around his shoulders with a crown made of bones called the Dark Lord.
Is there any... Obviously, shrouded in darkness, I'm probably not going to be able to glean anything from it. Yeah. But does this figure resemble the black-haired man that I've seen dancing with the raven-haired woman?
It could do, Luther. There's definitely some similarities. Could do.
Okay, that guy keeps popping up. I wonder who could that... I don't know who that could be. I wonder who it could be.
The Paladin sticks out to you as well. With that sort of knowledge, the Paladin, the Two of Swords, looks like the golden-haired man that you saw in the paintings as well.
Okay.
A little bit.
The picture on the wall that was Elizabeth and formerly Gustav, has that changed at all since we've stopped paying attention to it?
No, just the what was once a painting of two people who looked to be maybe not madly in love, but at least in a marriage of convenience. Now, Gustav has just been torn out of this painting.
And is there, while they're looking at those cards, anything on these shelves or in this, I assume, cupboard to the...
Nothing that interesting. Most of this stuff has rotted or fallen to decay long ago. Covered in dust is fairly useless. You don't get the sense there's much more interest.
Was there a letter left by the corpse hanging?
A letter? As you have a bit of a look around on the bed and begin sort of moving about, you don't see any parchment or any signs of any letters that have been left behind. No.
Okay.
Right, Gustav, you in here, mate? You in here, my lad?
You hear no sound. No response.
Just go over and...
Just this desiccated corpse hanging from a noose, just moving, very faintly rotating.
Yes, I'm here.
I don't even look at Tithla.
Leave me alone.
It's suspect things in the maid.
I'm going to go up to the dangler and cut him down.
As you sever the sheet holding this body above, it just immediately drops onto the ground. As it hits the top of the bed, parts of it break off. One of the arms severs at the shoulders, the skull.
I would have lowered it down gently.
Lowering it down gently. Because you did say cut it down.
Well, yeah, but cut and gently put him on the bed, basically, is what I'm thinking.
So are you touching the body to help lower it down, or are you just slowly lowering the sheets? Are you touching the body?
No, I would have touched the body, yeah.
Oh, fantastic. As you cut the sheet, catch the body and then gently lower it, it stinks of death and decay. This thing has been sitting here and has decayed. You can see a black stain on the sheets where probably all of the juices from the rotting body dropped onto the sheets and stained them. This is wrong, Grinner. This is fucked. And as you drop the body onto the bed very gently and then sort of stand back up again, you feel gross, as if this thing's still touching you. Yeah, something feels very wrong. Could you roll me another sanity check, please, Grinner?
I can.
Oh.
It'll be fine. Why are you guys worried? 26. It's so fun.
Plus 8. Damn.
Plus 8, Grinner. That's ridiculous. That can't be right.
That can't be right. No, oh yeah, because that went with strength.
Well,
Hang on, I
it's-
hit sanity instead of cancel on the
That's okay.
button.
That's okay. No, that's okay. So all we have to do, we can just subtract from that easily because your sanity bonus is plus 3.
Still-
That's plus 8. So it's
it's
still
great.
21. So that's
Oh,
still amazing.
Didn't ignore that next roll. It was the same thing anyway.
Oh, so the same roll, 21.
Wow,
Yeah,
it's
exactly right.
21.
Yeah, 21. The dice gods agree.
Confirming, you know.
Grinner, you've dealt
Dice-
with your
the
fair
dice
share
gods.
of bodies on the battlefield. Some of them not in the best condition. This doesn't phase you.
This is
Seeing
definitely
the
not the first
blood.
hang body.
Jonor's gonna wash him off as well with his prestidigitation as he sees the muck and grime just slush all over his clothing.
Yeah, thanks, mate. There's nothing like a beef jerky in human form to get all over yourself. Thank you for that.
He shudders at that.
I told you not to touch me.
Tithla, you're getting way too much joy out of this. It's a little bit disconcerting, to be honest.
I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't said a word.
You're still talking to the ghost actor.
Shit.
Can I? I'm just gonna give Gustav's body a once over. Just check him for. Just make sure. Did he actually die from hanging? All that sort of stuff. Just give him a whole
Yeah,
once
can
over.
you roll me a medicine check, please?
I can.
I was just right there next to him. Can I help him out?
Yeah, you can give him advantage, of course you can. Give him the help action. 3. That's not a good start. Can you roll better?
Oh.
Natural 1, 2. Grinner, as you look over the body, he didn't die from hanging. There's something else that went on here. In fact, you're not even sure this is Gustav. What evidence have you got this is Gustav? This could be anyone. This could be any old body.
Lads, I think we got a problem here.
Yeah. What is it, Monsieur Grinner?
Is it that you're looking at that body upside down?
Well, I mean, that could be.
You're meant to look at it the other way.
Wait.
I know a thing or two about medicine. Remember, I'm a medical wizard, medical genius.
No, that obviously was not important enough for me to keep in my brain.
It's my tagline in life.
Right, well, get over here, because have a look at this. I'm almost dead set certain that this bloke didn't die from hanging.
Is that okay for me to roll it?
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well?
you can roll. You can roll a medicine check. Absolutely.
I straight up called him out on it, so
No, absolutely. 6. Tithla, I mean, probably. I mean, it was. You came in. There was a body hanging from the ceiling from small bed sheets. Probably died of hanging. His body's
but
so decrepit.
we had
and
3
old
rolls
aged.
between us, and we had 2 2s and a 1.
Yeah, you don't know, man. You don't know. Yeah, look, probably.
You know what?
Probably died of hanging.
You're right. We don't know. I reckon the sheets are an indicator of hanged, but other than that, you know what? You were right. It was the right way around. My bad. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, I mean, the way I'm looking at it, what if somebody killed him and then strung him up like that as a way to get out of having killed him? We don't even know if this is fucking Gustav. Look at him.
And there's no way that we could know.
He is dead, so we're not bringing him back by knowing what killed him. So, shall we go have a rest upstairs and forget we ever dealt with his grimy body?
Well, almost, actually. Theodore, I think you're onto something there, mate. Why, you say bring him back, why the fuck isn't his ghost here? The other ones all died and they're floating about the place. What the fuck's different with this one?
Maybe he was killed before Elizabeth did the funky thing with the house in the basement? So he is just a legitimate corpse?
What, the
We
others
go
aren't?
ask Marge.
Or maybe it's
Yeah.
autoerotic asphyxiation?
Yeah, I hear it
Sorry,
happens
what's
to the
that,
best of us.
Theo? I don't know what that is.
When a man and his noose love each other very much,
Uh-huh. Is this a goat thing?
it's very popular in the fair realms.
Keeps the population down.
You know, I think I might go and ask Marge if she knows
Tithla.
what
We're not
happened.
talking to Marge anymore. That is not wise.
But she's happy now.
No, she's probably still massive bitch. It's okay.
Why don't we go listen?
Look, I sincerely think this is a bad idea.
All right, look, Tithla, go listen at the door. But if you go try and barge him there, you're gonna have
I'm
a
not
problem.
gonna. I
There'll be 3
promise
ghosts?
that I won't barge in without consulting you first, Grinner.
I don't believe you. Go have a look.
Tithla, you
Tithla's-
walk on down, listen at the door. You can hear conversation between Rose Thorn and Margaret.
This 100% needs supervision.
Margaret.
Do you want me to roll a perception check?
Yeah,
To
go
see
roll
how
perception
well
check.
I can
You'll hear a little bit anyway. But yeah, go roll perception check. We'll see how much you get. 19. Yeah, you hear Rose Thorn and Margaret talking. Thorn seems to be being comforted by Margaret. You can hear Thorn being like, and then he kicked in the door, and it was really scary. Margaret's like, oh, my poor Thorn. I'm so sorry to hear that. Yes, and his scar across his neck probably was a bit scary too. Yeah, it was really scary. But then he was like a little bit okay, and then we had a cry together, and then he was a bit better, and I gave him a little high five. Oh, that's really good to hear, Thorn. Rose sort of like talks and steps in. Margaret, how are you feeling? Are you feeling any different? I am feeling better talking to the two of you. I feel I'd lost myself a little bit, but I feel much more myself now. Thank you, children, for coming and talking to me. I don't know how you can forgive me for letting you starve up there. It's okay, it's not your fault. It was Mum and Dad. You can hear them all start to sort of get a bit emotional again, words starting to choke in their throats.
And with that,
Sad.
Tithla's going to reach for the door handle and then stop herself. And say, no.
Chippy
sorry.
slap. Give Tithla's hand a little chippy slap.
Tithla stops herself and goes back to the group. Character development, everyone.
Oh,
Character
The
development.
growth, the sheer growth we're seeing right here.
Is there anything else you guys wanted to explore down here, or do you want me to take you back up to where you were before?
Well, I
Okay,
want to
rest.
start the
Strike it
group
back up.
and pitch going in. And
Oh yeah,
talking
sorry,
to
please, I'll
Marge.
jump in. Sorry, please.
They're all pretty happy there and friendly. I think we could talk to Marge for a second
What about though, mate? I don't know if
to
we're going to
see
get much else.
if she knows what happened to Gus. If we can work out why he's not here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. We don't know.
Do we need to know though?
Well, if he's gonna surprise us by being downstairs with her, or if we don't know.
Yeah, all right. That's, you know what, Tithla, I take my hat off to you, love. That's, you're actually onto a pretty decent idea there. That's just.
You actually
don't
take your ball
say-
hat off to do this?
No, it's just an expression, mate. We don't have to do that.
I can wear the hat if you think that'll help.
I do not.
Okay.
And
Right.
she's going to run back to the door and knock on it politely.
Yeah, as you knock on it, you hear a sort of momentary pause. Hello? Rose's voice calls out.
Is Marge there?
Margaret? Yes.
As you sort of open the door and look in, you see Margaret in her original form, I would say, the form of the nursemaid, standing at the door.
Oh, it's you. Please, come in. Come in.
Thank you.
And she'll go in.
Do you maybe have a
Well,
moment
people
to
in.
speak, perhaps away from the other children? Just you and I again, please.
Yes, of course. Rose, Thorn, would you mind heading into the nursery, please? Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. I don't want to go in the nursery. It's really dark.
Rose just grabs Thorn and drags him through the wall into the nursery.
Now
Yes, Tithla.
this is about Gus, just so you know, so you can prepare yourself. Take a deep breath. I'll wait.
Gustav? Yes, did
Oh,
you find
Gus.
him?
No. We were wondering if perhaps you know what happened to him and when.
I'm sorry, I don't. The last I saw of him was the evening that I was killed. He came to check in on baby Walter and had woken him, and I was asking him not to wake. Oh, not baby Walter, sorry, baby Michael. I was asking him not to wake baby Michael.
That was a DM slip, not a character slip.
I was like, ooh.
Asking
Ooh,
him
that-
not to wake Michael. And,
I had two different names for the baby, and I decided on Michael rather than Walter. I've just defaulted to the original one that I had in mind. I asked him not to wake baby Michael, but he did, and then I had to try and calm Michael down, and I got a bit cross at Gustav. I told him to leave and to go and take care of his wife. And he left, quite angry.
Do you know if they were happy together towards the end there?
No,
Was he happy?
No, they were very unhappy towards the end. The Durst family was once very wealthy, but they had begun to lose a lot of their previous power and wealth. A lake nearby flooded, taking out a number of the large areas of forest that they'd planted, turning it into fetid swampland. As the money left, Gustav turned to drink, and then to me to distract him from his troubles, which angered Elizabeth, and she began to grow obsessed with magic and rituals, and soon some of the townspeople were working with her, and they spent a lot of time down in the basement. Not sure what they were doing, but I know that she spent quite a bit of money purchasing these items left over from the giants before they vanished.
Do you happen to know if Gustav was the type of man to say, hang himself? Hypothetically speaking, yeah.
You watch as
speaking?
she deflates a
Hypothetically.
little bit.
You have to understand, before the drink, no, but after, he became a different person. When I first came to work for him to look after his children, he was a loving husband. The alcohol changed him. It made him darker, more sullen. Shocked, but not overly so. If he did take his own life, then perhaps that was for the best. He seemed set on making everyone's life around him a misery.
Could you think of any reason why he would not have a ghost if he had died in the manor?
No, I don't understand how any of this works, if I'm being perfectly honest. I'm sorry.
Perhaps he passed before the lady of the house conducted her activities, which led to this haunting. Perhaps.
Perhaps. Maybe. I'm not sure what Elizabeth did. She just cut my throat at the time, you have to understand, and I was bleeding out slowly.
Okay. Can I ask one last question, please, Marge?
Of course. Please, Margaret.
Oh, really? Is that new? I
No.
could have sworn that it was...
No, I've always been known as Margaret.
Wow. Mind blown. I'm so sorry. I had no idea. I was wondering if you perhaps know why Rose and Thorn didn't have the name Durst, but Michael did.
Oh, have the name. They are.
Or the other way around, was it?
They are the.
No, Rose and
No,
Thorn,
on the-
the names
on the dinner
didn't have
placards.
Durst.
Oh, right, on the placards, right, yeah.
Yeah.
But Michael did.
No, they are. Rose and Thorn are both Durst. They are Gustav's children, his firstborn. Rose was set to inherit the business, and Thorn would take over the accounts once he passed. They are his firstborn children. No, they do carry the name Durst.
Did they look a lot like their father?
Yeah, they look exactly like their mother and father.
Oh. The placards are just weird then.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Margaret.
No,
And
Margaret.
is there anything else that we can do for you?
the children, Rose and Thorn, were saying that you were going to take their bodies down to the crypts. I know there's not a space for me down there, but there should be hopefully some areas where you might lay my body to rest as well. Would that, if it's not too much to ask?
No,
Yeah,
of course not. Grinner, would you be able to help out? You've got the box, right?
But the box is upstairs. I didn't bring it back down, but
You
if
could place my remains in a pillowcase or the sheets perhaps and wrap it up.
Bring out
We
your
can-
dead.
Yep.
It
Of-
looks
of
like
course.
you're a bit more beef jerky than the other lot, love. I don't know if we're going to be able to cram you into a pillowcase, but I'll,
Sack.
She sort of gives you a bit of a look, Grinner. I don't care what you have to do to my body. You're not going to make it any more. You're not going to make me any more a restless spirit than I already am. If you need to hack a limb
Grab
off
Ben
or
sheets.
two,
To bopping you down some stairs, perhaps.
Shit, you
Perhaps we should try and be somewhat sensitive. What, that sounds weird coming out of me.
yeah,
Grab some
all right.
beds, wrap her up.
I might just try and I'm going to try and curl her up as best I can into fetal position. If that means I have to cut joints to get them to bend again, then so be it. But I'm going to try and keep it together and just fold her up.
yeah, that's easily done. I mean, the bones are brittle. As you move the joints, they immediately snap. Not fully breaking off, but the skin kind of still like leathery, holding them in place. But it's pretty easy to snap up the joints and fold her up almost like a little into the fetal position. It's not too hard.
Right, lads.
Run,
Now,
pick up a roast chalk.
Yeah.
of all the things that I've done, I've spoken about it a little bit while we've been wandering around. This is the fucking weirdest thing that I've done in my life.
I was talking to somebody while you put their long dead body in a suitcase.
Yeah, that's up there. I've touched a few very old corpses, but being told what to do with them by their fucking owners is that's a new one.
If it helps, it's a first for me as well.
I mean, it doesn't help or hinder, mate. It's just interesting. It doesn't really hurt me.
Okay. Well, perhaps let's go and have a nap after all of this excitement.
Just let us go nap.
I'm very fucking tired.
So, before we go, is there any, was there any other areas? I'll probably do, while everyone's talking, Owen, I'll probably do a quick sweep through the other rooms.
Yeah.
And...
As you move through, I'll give you a quick breakdown of what you find.
Yeah.
There's a closet containing some old tattered clothes that have since rotted and fallen apart. There's a bathroom with a wooden tub with clawed feet, a small iron stove with a kettle resting atop it, and a barrel under a spigot to collect rainwater to fill up the bath and then heat it. There's a storage room full of folded sheets, blankets, and what probably was once soap but has since fallen apart. And then there's a few spare bedrooms up on the top floor that you can have a quick... I'll just drop you in really quickly so you can see there's just some spare bedrooms on the top floor. It's right down towards the south. But apart from that, there's not much else.
Okay, so because I'll probably rummage around through and, nothing really of note.
I feel like we should
Alright.
probably set a watch.
I think that's definitely the best idea. I'll take first if nobody has any issue with that.
If you guys mentioned that downstairs, Rose, Thorn, and Margaret will come up and keep watch outside on the landing for you.
Sure.
If you mentioned that you're going to go take a rest, Margaret would probably say, Rose and Thorn and I will come and we will keep an eye out for you while you rest. We don't need to sleep, and it's the least we can do to thank you for laying our bodies to rest.
Not much
To
obliged,
apologise
mate.
for my actions earlier.
Definitely the strangest lookout I've had in a while, but yeah, let's do that.
So,
Take a
I
long
would
rest.
still sleep for 6 hours.
Yep.
And then I would wake up because even though the time is pretty much you can't tell what time it is. Waking up at 6 hours would be like the dawn roughly for me.
Yep.
So before I'll wake up, I'll lay out my crossbow and my crossbow bolts, and I'll have some candles and censers and stuff. And then I'll just sort of do some praying and stuff to Lathander, the goddess of the sun,
Okay.
welcoming in the new dawn. And sort of checking, because I have in every dart I have a little carving, which is a religious carving. So just sort of it makes me think that they're a little bit more imbued with her blessing, I guess.
Yeah.
Sort of smiting evil in her name.
Absolutely.
So I always sort of have to do that ritual. So I'll always sort of get up just before. I'll be on the last watch pretty much every time then and do this.
Alrighty, easily done. Alrighty, as you guys take a long rest, you may all level up to level 2.
Oh damn.
Hey!
Now, Grinner, there's 2 people I need to talk to about your level up to level 2. Grinner and Jonor. We'll do Grinner first. Grinner, the handprint from Thorn on your hand as you sort of think and reflect on it and what you've been through, and you consolidate some of your knowledge from your time inside the manor. Do you have an idea at the how to say this in a way that's not like super metagamey? Do you have an idea of which subclass you wanted to kind of look for? I know that's a 3rd level thing, but I
hadn't even looked into it yet because I was expecting it to be a level away.
Perfect. So no, awesome. Then don't worry too much. We'll talk about that in a level. You're going to keep this handprint until your 3rd level.
Okay, that's cool.
Jonor, you have picked up a deck of interesting things. A deck of
a lot of them perhaps.
Tarokka cards.
Was it me? Yeah.
Do you?
Well, I think it was Tithla, to be fair.
That's Tithla that's got it.
Yeah,
barely
Tithla
claimed it.
Yeah, but you have kind of had a bit of a look at them.
Sure. Yeah.
Have you? Because you get to pick your arcane tradition at level 2.
Yeah.
So, if you wanted to take divination magic, something about these cards speaks to you.
That was one of the 3 I was looking at. So that seems to line up. So let's go with that then.
Alrighty, Tithla. These cards that you've got, when you have them, they seem fairly mundane. But when Jonor was looking over them, they seem to shine a little bit. Almost the colors on the inks became brighter. The box itself seemed to, the markings and the enamel seemed to grow darker and more vibrant. Just information for you.
Hey, Jonor.
Yeah.
You're a weird guy, right? Weird things happen around you.
That's probably triggering for him. You know, being not the most social one in the class. But I'm fairly normal.
I'm pretty sure I've seen a lot of weird things around you.
He looks around.
Like in a good way, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm interesting. I find things. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, absolutely. And like the cool thing, you can do the things with your hands. Very good with your hands.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you just hold this for a second, and she'll give you the 2 of diamonds.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, no longer is it the 2 of diamonds. That has changed when it transformed with the illusion dropping. Now it is a 2 of stars. So it is a diviner wizard, which is so fucking appropriate as you hand this over. That's amazing. What are the chances of that? That's freaky, man. As you hand over,
it was fated.
It's fated. As you hand over the card, on it you can see a woman leaning over a deck which looks very much like this deck, drawing cards and placing them down in front of a figure, in front of whoever is the observer looking in. Jonor, you get the strong sense these cards are used for some purpose. And as you look at this card and look at the description on it, the inscription, you get a sense this is like a tarot deck that some fortune tellers will use to see the future, see the past, the present, and the future. But something about this really speaks to you. You have this connection with it. Would you like to draw 3 cards?
Absolutely. As soon as if he's got this connection to it, he's going to start looking into it more. And you know, he's seen it. He's seen those cards being used before. So he's going to do his own little thing. So that works in the downtime. So yeah, let's do that.
I'm going to bring you across to a board.
Interesting.
You can all see that.
Oh, yeah.
We can.
I'll chuck it up on the stream too. Alrighty, we're going to do a live tarot deck drawing. It's going to be completely random. So,
damn, I wasn't expecting this today.
Yeah.
So, we're only going to do 3. We're going to ignore the top and bottom. So we're just going to do past, present, and future. Is there anything that Jonor would be holding in his mind when he draws these cards? Anything that would speak to him? Or something that he would want to know more about?
The book he's gotten. So the demonology one is on his mind. Yeah.
Okay. So the first card that you draw for the past is the priest. Wow, it's very appropriate. You see an image of a figure, a man, a little bit overweight, beard, dressed in very priestly robes, a halo shining behind him like the sun itself. And as you look at this card, Jonor, you're not really sure what it means per se, having never been trained to use these, but you get a sense from the card. This book was written long ago by someone in the priesthood, someone holy, or someone with knowledge of... Someone with knowledge, first-hand knowledge of demons and their ilk. For the second card, the present, the card you draw is the Warrior, the Three of Swords. You know that this book could be a weapon, maybe, in the right hands. Knowledge is power, and knowledge against your foes could be very useful. You know to keep this with you is to give you an edge over demons and their ilk, demons and devils. And the final card, the Abjurer, future. Abjuration magic is the magic of warding and shielding. Maybe this could be a shield for you in the future, something to protect you, perhaps. Something to protect your friends, to ward off danger. You get the sense this is going to come in handy sooner rather than later, as you place these cards down.
As all those things come out, he makes sure he's got his book on him and keeps it really secure. He's holding on to that thing all the time.
As you sort of gather up the cards, put them away, a card falls out of the deck at your feet. A card showing a graveyard, shrouded in mist, covering the land, a dense fog. And in the mist, it's almost you swear you could see those same hands moving in this illustration of the mists. And you know that your past, present, and future is tied up in this somehow to the mists.
He's gonna shiver at that. He's a bit of not PTSD, but he's getting tilted by that. And he steps around that. He doesn't initially touch it. He then will clean it up, but he's just a bit hesitant to begin with.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what happens is you do your little tarot reading, your tarocca reading, I should say.
So it's a little bit of divination kicking in, right?
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, it'd be a good time for you to tell me that you are indeed taking divination, Wizard, if you're choosing not to.
Correct,
that'd be really awkward after doing all of that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take some sort of I'm just gonna go Fireball, Wizard. I'm just gonna go Evocation all the way.
The old school of Fireball.
Yeah, the old school of Fireball. It's Evocation.
Old school the DM with that move.
Yeah. But yeah, Jonor, something within you is awakened. This deck is giving you access to skills and knowledge you didn't know you had. And you feel a real connection with this knowledge or this ability to glean insight from the signs and the signals that you see in the world around you to know more about the past, present, and future. This feels right. Alrighty, that's your level up. Do any of you guys also get some fun things leveling up? I'm assuming, Theodore, you now get some wild shape stuff, correct?
Yep.
Fantastic. What can you can now wild shape into things a bit bigger, like a dog, right?
CR1.
CR1. Awesome. Okay, so Theodore's not as squishy.
Nope.
Tithla as a ranger, I don't think you get a lot at level 2.
I get a fighting style and some spellcasting.
Yeah, so
That's not too
spellcasting.
bad.
Yeah.
Spellcasting's good.
Yeah. Didn't have spellcasting at level 1 either, so this actually might be a bit more momentous.
And Luther, you get a fighting style, correct?
No, I get action surge.
Oh, you get action surge, of course. Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Awesome. Okay, brilliant. Has everyone leveled up to level 2? Any questions? Any comments? You guys all okay otherwise with your
No,
character level
fuck all for the Barbarian level up.
Action surge is the only thing I get, so very easy.
There's
I
not a lot
have
for the
leveled up,
Barbarian.
but there is something about that I want to talk to you about, mostly thematically, but I'll probably do that outside the stream.
You can do it now. Because it's, we're probably not going to go too much longer, so if you wanted to go through it really quickly now, and then we'll take you guys down the staircase.
Sure. Well, the only thing...
Stairs. Sorry, yeah,
was thematically I had always imagined bear as the form.
Yep.
However, just purely mechanically, the brown bear is just garbage compared to old mate Direwolf.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I wouldn't say that per se.
I mean,
When you do Barbarian with the bear, you had like double the health.
Barbarian.
well, I mean, though it's 37 health on the Direwolf, 34 on the bear.
There's a reason most Moon Druids go for Direwolf.
Yeah, so that's I was wondering if we could perhaps do some reskinning of something, because I don't know if anyone else has picked up on it, but I mean the character's name is Theodore Ursa.
Yeah.
He's literally a teddy bear.
Chat have literally commented on that as you were saying it. literally. So that's a good question. Yes, I'll have a bit of a talk to you because there is a dire bear that you get access to later on.
Yeah, so I looked all through and there's no way to beat the
brown
dire.
bear has 2 attacks. I think that's different.
Yeah.
So that's how it makes it up for it, but like just everything else is just way better.
I'll have a look at it.
With something there. I would like to be a bear, but
what we can do, if you'd like to, I'm more than happy to do this. You can use the wolf stats completely, and we'll just reskin you as a bear. I'm completely happy for you to do that.
Completely happy with that, yeah.
Yeah, that's because I was just about to start like making a whole custom creature for you. No, let's just do that. Let's just make you a
yeah.
And if you wanted to swap the pack tactics, because the dive was pack tactics, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If you wanted to swap that for the multi attack of the bear, you're more than welcome to. Because that's the benefit, right? Is the direwolf gets pack tactics but doesn't get multi attack. The bear gets multi attack but doesn't get pack tactics. So if you want me to create you a custom bear that is the same as the direwolf but doesn't have the pack tactics, it has multi attack, I can do that. That's easy. Have a think.
I will
Don't have to
have a
make a
think.
decision.
I'll have a think. Yeah.
Let me know. I'll have to do some character art for you as a bear, won't I? I just realised that I've neglected to do your character art as a bear.
Oh, I mean that could be having to quickly swap back and come and he's a bear. He's a bear.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna keep your horns, your satyr horns, just because it's too funny not to keep your little horns and your nose ring and everything, and keep all of your jewelry on the bear.
Yeah.
I just looked as well.
Scarf.
The direwolf bite actually gets to have a chance to knock people prone.
Yeah.
Direwolf there's a reason most druids go direwolf.
It's just infinitely better than the bear. Like, multi-attack's cool, but like not bite that knocks prone while having advantage with higher AC and health. Cool.
Yeah, I get it. I do get it. Yeah, we can just use the direwolf stats and we'll just reskin it as your bear. That's absolutely fine with me. I've got no problem with that at all.
Yeah, sweet.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Alrighty, as you guys sort of have your rest, you find it very hard to sleep here. Even though you are able to eventually get to sleep, the wind sort of moving across the panes of wood and the shingles of the roof, and occasionally little bits of mist drifts through inside and immediately evaporates. But there's this sense of this whole house, there's something deeply wrong with this place, and you can feel it deep within your bones. Your rest is not an easy one. While you do get the benefits of a long rest, you still feel that sense of deep unease being here. You are not interrupted. Margaret occasionally will poke her head through the wall. The ghostly nursemaid pokes through occasionally to check and see you guys are okay, then moves back out again. At one point, Thorn gets fed up, not wanting to take watch anymore, and comes and pretends to be asleep next to Grinner, cuddling his little rabbit. Grinner's fast asleep at this point, being a human who doesn't get anything like trance or anything like that. Grinner's just passed out, like really like unsexily sleeping.
Soldier sleep. They just sleep. When they can, they will.
Probably not even lying down. Probably up against a wall.
Yeah.
Just head down, not really doing anything. Yeah, perfect. That's brilliant. And Thorn comes and like sits next to you for a bit, pretends to be asleep for a bit, and then goes back out again a little bit later. You guys finish your long rest. Jonor, you've done your portent rolls. Brilliant. 16 and 10. Nice. That's good.
Portent rolls.
Yes.
That sounds important.
Jonor as a divination wizard gets to roll 2 dice during a long rest that he can substitute rolls for. So he's got a 16 and a 10. At any point, he can go, nah, what you just rolled, it's not a 2, it's now a 10. Or it's a 16. He can do that to you. He can also do it to me.
Ooh.
That's fun.
Can he do it to himself?
He can do it to himself. Divination wizards. This is how you see. He's seen the future. He's like, no, I saw this. This isn't how this happens. This happens instead.
You're full of shit, Owen.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's cool.
Portent's really cool. Divination wizard is really, really fun. I'm really pleased that you took the.
It looked really strong, and I was like, oh, I don't want to be that guy like just taking a strong class. And you suggested it, I was like, don't mind if I do.
when Tithla took the Tarokka deck from downstairs, not realizing it was a Tarokka deck at that point, I was like, okay, well, we've got a wizard with us. We'll have to see if Jonor wants to pick up the ability to read the Tarokka deck, because that could be very, very fun. And so I've got a whole thing around that. So yeah, Jonor, as you take your little rest and begin playing around with the cards, two of the cards reveal to you the future. One, a future where something goes very well, and a future where something doesn't go as well. The 16 and the 10. And you know in your heart when that's going to be. You don't know yet, but when it happens, you're going to know, and suddenly those cards will make sense.
Yep.
Brilliant. Yeah, you guys finish your long rest. The staircase winds down just behind you into the darkness of the house below. Margaret, Rose, and Thorn sort of wish you good luck and head back downstairs after you finish your long rest. Head back down into Margaret's room, not really wanting to hang around the room they were trapped in for the last couple hundred years, strangely. And you guys have the staircase to yourselves. Do you guys head down the stairway into the undercroft?
Yeah, I think I'll take point as usual if everyone's all right with that.
You got the corpse sack and chest?
Yeah, if someone wants to hold on to old love, I'll take the box.
Yeah, I'll swing a sack of Marge over my shoulder.
Oh, good God.
A sack of
It's
Marge.
actually Margaret. I know we're all just learning that for the first time.
Amazing. Alrighty. As you guys come down towards the cellar, I will move you across to the map. And I will bring you.
As always, Jonor is afraid and at the back.
As always. There you go. I've moved you to the back. We'll just give that map a second to load in. As you guys head down the narrow spiral staircase, it feels incredibly claustrophobic. This thing is tiny. And as you move your way down, heading deeper and deeper, you feel the cold and dark pressing in around you. As you arrive down in the basement level, you can see a narrow tunnel stretching north and south and then branching towards the east and west below you. As you guys come down, you can hear at the edges of your vision, even those with a passive perception of less than 10, you can hear what sounds like a chanting. Just echoing through the corridors. You're not sure where it's coming from, and you can't quite hear what they're saying, but it's just this sound echoing through the empty hallways, reverberating off the walls and floor. And that's what you guys see as you arrive down in the basement.
I do not like the sound of this chanting. It is ominous as balls.
I don't understand why the ritual's been going on for so long. What the fuck are they still chanting for? Surely they're done by now.
Oh, and do I recognize the language they were chanting in?
Theodore, as you have a listen and focus, you can't even make out the words, let alone whether or not it's a language that you know. It just sounds like, because of the stone walls and the echoing sound reverberating back on top of itself, it's impossible to know what is being said at this point.
Yep.
I'll push on.
Which way? You can see there's a pathway heading up towards the north, pathway heading down towards the south, and the pathway branches off in a few different locations as it heads towards the south and towards the north as well.
Which direction is the sound coming from?
It's so hard to know because it's echoing. It's almost impossible to know exactly where it's coming from.
Can I roll for where's the chant coming from?
You can try and make an investigation or a perception check, but I'll tell you now it's very hard because it's echoing through this entire underground chamber.
Grinner, do you think it's maybe over that way, or is it sort of maybe...
6.
It's definitely that way. Let's go that way.
Tithla was trying to help by...
Grinner,
maybe it's that way, maybe it's that
Grinner,
way.
can you just flip a coin? Have you got a coin handy on your desk or something?
I do,
Can
actually.
you flip a coin for me? Heads is north, tails is south, and that's the direction you think it is.
Okay.
With a 6.
Tails.
Tails, south. Yeah. Yeah, it's probably
Confirmed
south. Could be south.
All right, south it is, lads. Excuse me, Lufa, mate. Just move to the side, would ya?
Nope. Oh, okay.
Grinner
No
just
problem.
pushes past you. Grinner, as you step down to the fork in the road, you can see that these are clearly some sort of crypt. Each crypt seems to be sealed behind a small gate, and above the top, you can see there are names for the various locations. You can see over towards the west from the position where you are, you can see a crypt with the name Rose Durst towards the north. And then down towards the south, a crypt that says Thorn Durst. The crypts appear to be occupied by a large stone sarcophagus or coffin, but apart from that, nothing else.
Right, well, I think I know what to do here. I'm gonna, I'll go to Rose's one. Oi, you lot, I've found where we got to put these two. So, I'm just gonna do that, right? Anyone object?
No objection. I leave Margaret in with Thorn as well. Of lay her out nice
Someone
next to the
to
sarcophagus.
Someone to sort of protect him, I guess. That's good.
Yeah.
Are you going to put Margaret and Thorn together in a crypt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I'll lay her like maybe. Oh yeah, she can go in the sarcophagus. He's big enough.
So I'm gonna try and lay the bodies out, because obviously the bones are kind of all falling apart. I know we separated them, but they would still be kind of a bit jumbled. I'm gonna try to
lay them out,
re-put them into an actual skeleton shape.
Grinner, could I have a medicine check? Tithla, I'm assuming
let
you're
me
going to
come and help.
Yeah.
Oh, that bit goes there. That bit goes there. No,
Tithla?
that's the hip, not the head.
Tithla, would you like to... Oh no, don't worry, Grinner's rolls. I was going to say, Tithla, do you want to roll and Grinner can help you?
Not too bad.
I think
15, not too bad with your
I
instruction.
think Grinner let me take the lead next time.
Well, you know what? We're all learning here, mate.
That's exactly. We're learning that I'm better at medicine.
You know what? Not according to your last roll.
No, according to my last roll,
You
I
don't
was.
see any of that. You don't see any of that. Grinner, with Tithla's guidance, you lay out the bones as best you can. The stone sarcophagus, these are actually, and this is where it gets a little bit weird, these are not adult-sized. These are child-sized sarcophagi. And as you lay the body of Rose first, and then lay the body of Thorn, you find that it's going to be very difficult to actually fit Margaret's remains in the sarcophagus with Thorn.
Alright, she can go on top.
Well,
Just
we
on top of
could
the
cut her
sarcophagus.
down. What, if we...
Theodore, I will say, Theodore, from your position, you can see there's other sarcophagi to the east of where you are.
I'll go have a look.
There's a blank stone slab to the north, blank stone slab to the south.
Blank stone slab. She gets slabbed.
Okay, perfect. So you lay her in the
Promptly
blank.
slabbed.
Yeah, lay her in the blank one. All right. And this one is an adult-sized one. As you walk in and you lay the bones down and then close the sarcophagi, you suddenly see the sarcophagi begin to shake ever so slightly. And then you watch as rising from the sarcophagus, mist begins to pour out. And then suddenly, a strong wind seems blows through from behind you, and you watch as the spirits of Rose, Thorn, and Margaret push through, flying through Jonor, Luther, and Theodore towards their sarcophagi. And as they fly inside each of the sarcophagi, the mist immediately vanishes. And you feel a sense of peace and tranquility come over each of you. Each of you gains an inspiration for laying spirits to rest.
Wow.
We've done something good here, lads. It's not often I can say that, but we've done something right here.
Now that they're gone, can we use them as puppets?
Theodore,
Now that they're gone,
mate.
you can use them as puppets. Yeah, you open up the sarcophagi, the bones are still there.
Theodore goes down to the south to check out what's down here. This
Yeah, as you
beatnik-looking
move
thing.
As you move towards the south, Theodore, you can see that this is probably a dining hall. You can see a plain wooden table flanked by long benches. There's a few scraps and remains of what was once probably food and drink scattered across the floor. In the middle of the south wall in the middle of the east wall is a darkened alcove that you can see sort of off towards this area here. Oh, brilliant. As you move into the darkened alcove, you can see this probably was once... I'm just going to move you back a little bit, if that's okay. Just move you guys back a little bit. Thank you. You can see this was once probably a larder. And as you begin having a bit of a closer look to see what's in there, something moves within the deep of the larder. And you watch as bursting from within this strange-looking insectoid grub, almost a long, elongated body of a maggot with tentacles writhing from out of its face, about the size of a dog, as it bursts out of the rotting food from the larder, making this horrible chittering, screeching noise as it bursts out. And that is where we're going to end for tonight.
Oh my god, nice.
Cliffhanger again.
That is disgusting.
I do love to end on cliffhangers. So thank you so much, everybody, for coming and checking out our Curse of Strahd campaign. We have had an absolute blast. These guys did really, really well recovering from the potential blunder of last session and laying the bodies of the innocents of the manor to rest.
All
Now
we have to
it's
do is not
just-
insult her again.
That was it.
And call
I
it
was low, but
all session.
we were still worried about stumbling over it.
Just don't tell her that her baby's dead. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everybody. I know that this is a bit darker than our usual D&D sessions with Tyranny of Dragons. I will put a trigger warning at the beginning. So I don't know why I'm telling you this at the end, but I will be putting a trigger warning at the beginning, just to remind myself as well when I edit this. I will put a little trigger warning in an audio, just so that people know in advance that there's going to be some discussions of some slightly darker stuff tonight. I think we've touched on some pretty dark themes. I've tried not to go too heavy into them, but I want to make it really clear that some pretty fucked up things have happened here. Awesome. Well, that's it from us tonight. We will see you all again next week for more Curse of Strahd. Until then, stay safe, stay well, and see you next time, guys. Farewell. Bye.
Bye.
Hey guys.
Au revoir.
Bye.